Avoiding failing strategies. Do you know what a Japanese puzzle box is? Have you ever tried opening one? Well, a Japanese puzzle box is a special wooden box that opens only if you slide the pieces in the right order. You can twist in all directions, but if you don't follow the right strategy, you might try for hours and the box won't open. In the end, you might get so discouraged that you give up even before discovering the secret inside. The same can happen when we face life's difficulties. If we use the wrong strategy, we might never solve the problem and could even make things worse. Today, we'll learn about failing strategies from the story of King Saul and his army. They had to face a giant challenge who so happened to be named Goliath, but they used the wrong strategies. Let's look at what they did to avoid the same mistakes. Number 1. Trusting in the wrong thing first. When the Philistines invaded the territory of Israel, King Saul had a plan. Saul and the Israelites assembled and camped in the valley of Elah and drew up their battle line to meet the Philistines. King Saul did something, but he didn't have a positive result. Israel had an army and they had a general, King Saul. They had commanders, officers, soldiers, uniforms, and they knew how to march. They had rules and battle strategies. Everything seemed to be ready, but even with all that, they were stuck. Why? Saul trusted first in his army's strength and plans before trusting in God. The best organizations or teams are insufficient to win a giant challenge if God is not the first source of help. As a young person, you might be part of a loving family, school, church, or group of friends. These are good and essential and can help you grow, but when tough problems come our way, it is not wise to trust first in people or systems around us. First, depend on God. Ellen White, God's prophetess for our time, wrote about the danger facing God's children. He is in danger of shifting his burden upon organizations instead of relying upon Him, who is the source of all strength. One of King Saul's failing strategies was to depend first on good structures and people instead of upon a good God. 2. Running away from the challenge. When Goliath the giant marched and shouted towards the camp of Israel, how did the soldiers in King Saul's army react? The Bible says, whenever the Israelites saw the man, they all fled from him in great fear. Out of fear, they turned their backs and ran away. Sometimes we do the same when we are scared, and when we are worried about our challenges. How does this happen? Sometimes we put things off that should be done right away. When asked to do something we don't like, we reply with, "I'll do it later." Another approach is to try to forget our problems by playing games or watching TV. Some people, even children, choose to do drugs or drink alcohol to run away from their challenges. But here's the truth. Running away won't fix anything. Challenges don't disappear, but often grow bigger. And the next time we decide to take care of it, it will be much harder. 3. Only talking about the challenge. The soldiers not only ran away, but also talked about their challenge. We read in 1 Samuel 17:25. Now the Israelites had been saying, "Do you see how this man keeps coming out? He comes out to defy Israel. The king will give great wealth to the man who kills him. He will also give him his daughter in marriage and will exempt his family from taxes in Israel." These soldiers could clearly see the challenge, a giant called Goliath. They knew about the solution. Someone had to stand up and fight the giant. They even knew what the rewards would be, no taxes and marrying the king's daughter. But they just talked and talked without any action. Talking about your challenges is all right, but it's not enough. As you grow up, your knowledge increases. You can speak, write, and argue about various topics. As you learn more and understand more, it will help you achieve good grades at school. But knowing something is not the same as doing it. For example, you might do a great project on the dangers of cigarettes and even give an excellent report in front of your class, but that knowledge means nothing if you do not say no to your friends who are trying to convince you to smoke. Use winning strategies. King Saul and his army responded to the giant challenge by using the wrong strategies, depending on their army setup instead of God, running away instead of facing a challenge, and just talking without doing anything. And guess what? Nothing happened for 40 days. Are you using any of these strategies? Be careful. Solomon the wise king warned us, there is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. Using the wrong strategy not only prevents you from addressing the challenge, but can also make things worse. How can you find the right strategy to address your giant challenges? Tomorrow we'll learn from David, the chosen shepherd. But for now, here's a powerful truth, for the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. This means God promises to make us smart. He helps us decide the right thing to do when facing our giant challenges. You might wonder, how do I get God's wisdom? Apostle James wrote, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. So if you need wisdom, ask for it. When you pray for wisdom, God answers. Apostle Paul also gives excellent advice to a young man, Timothy, about a sure source of wisdom, and how from infancy you have known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make you wise. Keep reading and studying the Bible. It will make you smarter so you can handle life's challenges. Be careful about what strategies you use to solve your problems. Not all are right in God's sight. The safest plan is to depend first on God. Face your challenges and do what is right. Remember to always pray and read the Bible for wisdom. Going deeper, what are some of the big rocks of your daily life? Why do you think we often try to do more instead of praying first? Have you ever prayed when facing challenges, and how did it turn out for you?